Hello and welcome back to Mzansi Reality. We are back again. Today, Nje, we are just on a slow jam, like eating the dog, eating the cat, type of situation. So we are going to just move slowly, and obviously we are getting in a crazy environment where we have seen Thabo Bester doing the deeds in court.
I have to say, Thabo Bester made my day.
Yes.
I was not ready. I was not ready for the demand of a laptop and a modem to be so passionate.
Mm-hmm.
And fierce.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have his lawyer this time around. He wasn't there. It means maybe he's prioritizing the other case.
Yeah.
So this one
is
Bester said, I've got it. Did you see him prepare with the papers and stuff?
But I think he was assisted, in my opinion.
Hey guys, we're busy court. Namhlanje said it's the High Court in Pretoria. We're busy, we're pitisela.
Do not be laughing. Hello, Welageti.
Why must I not laugh?
Do not be laughing. People are gonna get angry. But yeah. But you know, Thabo is good for a proper comedy show. Yeah,
it's my constitutional right for me to have a laptop and a modem. It's my constitutional right. But where is it in the constitutional right, Mr. Bester, where it says you must have a laptop? Well, it's not really in the Constitution, but what's in the Constitution is that my legal right to have my legal court documents or my legal proceedings is what is in the Constitution.
He has a right to fair trial.
He does have a right to fair trial.
Fair trial does entail preparation that in a world where everything has been digitalized.
But they're saying there are papers and there are books that the magistrate has ordered for him to be provided with. He doesn't want books and he doesn't want papers. He doesn't want hard copies. He wants a laptop.
No, he wants to Google. What if I want to search some of the papers?
He wants to. The last time he had a laptop in his possession, there was a conference happening in Sandton and him via Zoom and going by the name of Tom Motsepe. So I am not so sure.
It is not his fault.
I am not so sure if it's...
It is not his fault that people were so gullible to organize that while he was just sitting in jail.
Not you calling them gullible.
No, they were so gullible. You know?
They believed he was in New York.
So if you are in New York now, you have to just snap like that and everything gets fixed.
You are in New York, why not?
I've got to go stay there then, so that I can get South Africa in a tip of a finger. Just like that, get everything sorted. And I can do it. Background and the New York buildings. I am there. I'm in New York. Wherever I am, I'll be in New York.
The who's who of Mzansi were gathered at Sandton.
They were singing in his dinner.
They were singing happy birthday to him.
To you.
The last time he had a laptop.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bester.
It was Tom Motsepe. Tom Motsepe. Happy birthday to you. And then
that would mean these people, they are so ignorant of what is happening around them. That's why I say people were gullible. You, as a celebrity, you need to know what is happening around. That's why when the country, such as South Africa, is crying, they tend to deviate or move away from that or be opposing to that.
You think they're ill-informed or uninformed, or they just don't care to know what's going on.
They only care about themselves.
Maybe. Because how on earth did you not try and find out who in the hell was Tom Motsepe? You know.
But he got them. The surname Motsepe
Who is Tom
is
Motsepe?
enough.
Like you would have been googling and finding out ubani Tom Motsepe kahle kahle. Who is this billionaire? What is the background? I've never heard of a Tom Motsepe. I've heard of a Petrus Motsepe. Now we're talking there. But Tom.
Maybe it's a cousin, long lost cousin of
Who is Tom?
Motsepe. But they were let down by, in my opinion, by the celebrity that got him allegedly and then took him to the pastor. He was supposed to tell them, or she didn't know.
Maybe she didn't know.
That
All of
they're
them
singing.
are claiming ignorance from the organizer of that event. Everybody's just saying, we didn't know that this man was in Mangaung Correctional Facility. We did not know. All of them, they didn't know.
Give him his laptop. I want to see who's next on the list.
They were dribbled.
Give him his laptop. Is this right? Is this constitutional right?
No, is this considered right? No, I don't think it's a good idea. I just think it's a smart idea for him to have a laptop. I mean, what else can he organize? Next thing, he will be in the union building somehow, somewhere.
Interfering, calling
And
order.
you know what makes me say this? What makes me say this is because his letter of request, or a letter that he had written before appearing in court today, he did this on Monday and it was released in the media, and somehow, somewhere, he was directing his request to the office of the presidency. And I'm like, what does the president have to do, Thabo Bester, with your shenanigans?
Wait.
Like, what is going on?
This is very interesting. Tuli tools. I've said it before. I think he was set up
You think he was set up?
for the first case, all the cases that he had initially, not the ones where he's in jail and is fooling all the hell out of those people into organ. These ones do not make sense, and how things have been unfolding. I mean, the power that is allowed to show. I believe someone owes him something. That's my opinion.
That's the passion, because right now he sounds like he's trying to challenge even his initial case
That's why I'm saying.
that had him convicted.
That's why I'm saying. Only a person who knows he's owed something can do this. You know, I don't believe, for one, that a man who's able to fool those beautiful ladies while sitting in jail would need to do things by force and all that. I don't believe in that. Someone who walked out freely in jail and was going and shopping or ShopRite and everywhere, as it is alleged.
I don't.
I don't think he's a person who really did that. It means, or it would mean that someone somewhere powerful really owes him something. That's my allegation.
Well, let me just read that whole thing that he was. It's a statement that he put out before his court appearance. He said, representing himself in the deportation application. I didn't even know that he had a deportation application. I thought it was Magudumana who was taking the matter for appeal. The one where it was extradition versus deportation.
Yeah.
Situation. So Bester is seeking access to a laptop to adequately prepare for the intricate legal proceedings. His request comes as he outlines several grievances regarding the handling of his original trial and ongoing legal matters.
Yes.
So bound by an oath of secrecy. And I'm like, That's the heading in the statement. And then it goes on underneath that heading. It says, adding another layer of complexity, Bester asserts that he is bound by an oath of secrecy imposed by both the State Security Agency and the office of the presidency. I'm like, but manje the office of the presidency, even state security agency. But then a guy best day. He said, I was never given a fair trial. I was coerced into pleading guilty. And for years, crucial transcripts have been missing, denying me the justice I deserve. On top of that, I'm bound by an oath of secrecy to the State Security Agency and the Office of the Presidency, where intelligence has been manipulated to further silence me. Besta assets.
You know what? Listen to this. And this is where the problem starts. Now, I'm going to read what Chiko and I say. Thabo Bester is really crazy. But to be honest, speak is brave. Speak is brave enough. You see, in my world, once you feel that someone is crazy, you must either find out if they're crazy, but logically, they don't look crazy. They are able to represent themselves. Somewhere, somehow, they are not lawyers, obviously, but they are able to pull up some points that are valid. Somewhere, somehow, they are probably fighting bigger forces. That's my thinking. And it has always been the case. If we are fighting something bigger than the human, you normally are perceived as crazy. Example, should we look further or should we look even closer?
Therefore?
Yeah, we said, you're crazy. All of you were like, hey, this guy is crazy, man. This guy is out of mind. This is crazy. And then later on, things are unfolding. People keep on saying, he was right. So, yeah, that's what it takes to fight proper bosses. You look crazy.
But you guys remember even how the whole finding of the murder weapon was with Peltusi and stuff, and it was just like...
Nobody questioned that. Nobody questioned how a very notorious person who's dangerous to women...
Okay, I get it. He liked Facebook and luring women from Facebook and stuff. But his case overall...
It leaves a lot to be desired. A lot.
And where are the transcripts that he wants? He wants to look at it. I think he has a right to appeal.
Yeah, he has a right to transcript.
So where are the transcripts? Where did they go? Where are they?
Well, people are going to say, you guys always believe.
Yeah, people are going to say that. They're going to accuse us of that. But then...
But the truth of the matter is...
I have questions.
I have learned to go the opposite way most of the time.
Where are his transcripts, you guys? He's been crying about these transcripts for quite some time. And why can't they be traced? It's his constitutional right if he wants to appeal his initial case to appeal it. Although I now know that, you know what, it might be too late or it might be a bit complicated considering that he escaped or he walked out or was assisted in walking out. Who knows? But where are those transcripts for his case?
Everything has died down. Everything has died down. The company, the whatnot, everything has died down. Have you noticed that?
What
Since
company?
the last time, I think the investigator was eliminated, everything just died.
Everything slowed.
Remember, we told you...
And he even has reached a level where he says everything that the media... It's a trial by media, mere allegations. Now he's calling everything that we were finding out, he's calling them mere allegations. We are there. So if he's saying, I did not escape from prison, what was that? what was it? I was assisted to walk out. What is he trying to say? Are we the crazy ones? What is going on? Did he walk out? And he was assisted in walking out? Or someone opened the gate?
That's what he says. He was allowed to walk out.
It's not an escape, according to him.
The truth of the matter is that if you talk about this case, it's scary, man. Now, if you think about it, it's a very scary case in my own opinion. It just doesn't make sense. Like, for people who are willing to think and sit down and think, like someone was saying on here on the comments, you, Mr. Anonymous, like to pretend as if you know it all. Hey, my daughter. Hey, my daughter.
Is Mr. Anonymous pretending?
No, we it's okay. If you pretend. You must fake it until you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. If you feel, Uguti, I am saying things that I'm always on the opposite side, shame. I mean, am I ever, most of the time, 90% of the time, we are opposing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to happen and agree more with the other people, the majority, the world.
And that is done on purpose, guys. To balance the opinions.
I have to.
Otherwise, we will sound like siblings.
It's nice not to know or to have an intuition that something is off. Sometimes it's nice to sit in the dululu of the situation and be like, no, it can't be. Because sometimes I feel like when you find some of these stuff out, I feel the resistance of some of the people also fighting. Like, there's no way.
In all honesty, I mean, how can someone just walk out of prison? No break, nothing is reported. And then from there, how are we supposed to look at his case? We're talking about someone who's in the maximum
facility.
Yes.
Max.
High standard. You know, he was able to walk out and be in a live situation outside here. In fact, go shopping.
At Woolworth. In Sandton. And then there's the other YouTuber who said, he was in Cape Town. I was in the same car with this guy. We were driving, looking at properties in Cape Town.
So, and then he hires one of the most expensive houses. In fact, he requests the change to be done. That's someone who's got more freedom than anything.
He didn't look like
he was not in a hurry to escape until these people who are always taking pictures. I want to learn Dr. Tama picture. He would be outside chilling with us. In fact, at some point we will dine with him. If
who knows? Maybe some of you were in the same spaces with him. You just never knew.
You know, but all that, Emil, there was a roar in this country. Noise. Let me ask you something. Only one noise is left, and it is caused by Bester himself. All is dead. Everything is dead. In my opinion. Everything. Accountability. That committee. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, gone. Yeah. Do you know the outcome? What happened after that commit?
Nothing.
There you go. South Africa for you.
Nothing happened.
Money.
Nothing happened after that commission of inquiry or committee, parliamentary committee.
That's how it is, guys.
Nothing happened after it, so.
Yeah, so we are here in this situation. We are now talking about Bester representing himself.
And his theatrics.
And then obviously we're going to call him crazy now and then. It reminds me of these movies that I like to watch. These American movies where someone, they steal his identity. They make him look crazy. What is it? Is it A Perfect Stranger or something like that? A movie like that. There's a movie like that. You know, some of these things, you can almost associate them to a certain movie. That's South Africa. In our lives here, they could be
I know.
equivalent to movies.
When I heard that Mkhawulesi is gone, now my heart sank. I even remember while we were covering it that this man, if he was the lead investigator and he's no more,
It's gone.
who else is going to touch that case after what happened to him?
I want you to look at things, nah? You need to be wise when you look at these things. I know to some of you, and I told you, you were sold something, a perception of a certain somebody who was in power, top person who was in power at some point. I'm using the word on purpose, was on power, and I'm looking at the backyard's comment. If that was the case, I can tell you now, that person's cases, all of that person's cases are not sticking, right? All of them. They keep going merry-go-round like that. That means evidencing is not evidencing. Don't you think if that was the case, they would have found something to stick with him? Think about it. Something to just say, yeah, here, we got you. They even had to take him to jail for something that is just tedious issues in jail, as con. Yeah, so you must think, when you think, you must think deep. The power is not with him, man. No protection, no nothing. And you think if there was something like that, he would still be sitting wherever he's sitting. Think. Just think, man.
Okay, some of us don't like to think too hard. Okay, it's tiring to think. Okay, because you feel like you're gonna go out of this world, and we're trying to stay in it as much as we can. So we don't want to break our heads trying to think too hard. Okay, we just sometimes very ignorance is bliss. Okay, sometimes homonati to not know certain things, you have a little bit more peace. But I'm gonna continue reading, and the last paragraph, it says that these constraints have played a role in the manipulation of intelligence surrounding his case. So there's an intelligence surrounding his case, he claims, further complicating his ability to speak openly and defend himself fully. These allegations suggest the situation is far more complicated than previously and or even currently understood. His legal representation, which he has opted to conduct himself, faces enormous challenges as a result of state involvement and secrecy oaths.
Okay. State involvement.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Bonak.
There's a picture of Besta there.
Secret involvement, the state's involvement and whatnot. And then, conveniently, I always look at how people do things. In my opinion, those people that we are obviously going to talk about Longwe as Emily does what Emily does.
But there's a picture there of Besta. Did you not see it?
Yes. Sorry about that, guys. Emily's doing what Emily does. So, yeah. There is an issue with some of the things that we are busy with here. So we're just gonna give it time. We're going to give it time as we deal with it.
So yes, guys, talking of Bestanshi, and now I'm hearing also that because he applied for this application as an agent application is the reason why he lost. They're saying that he lost. There are legal people who are speaking in the media that he was very wrong for calling it an agent application. That's what made him lose. It's not an agent application.
God, what is agent application? How is it supposed to be agent that I want to prepare for my case that is ongoing?
To them, it's not agent.
These lawyers, I'm doubting them now.
No, there are conditions to make an agent application. They're saying in this instance, Thabo Bester was very wrong for calling this thing an agent application. It was not.
So,
Nina nithini bazalwane? Was it an agent application or not?
to me, it was.
What made it urgent?
Like this show now, it's not urgent. It is just a show that we are giving, but then the technicalities are there. Yeah, we are done, guys. Just bear with us. We're done.
So you're saying it's not an agent application? You don't want to answer
not.
me whether
I
it's
don't
an
want to
agent
answer
application?
you because it's not. Yeah, so continue. Can you finish it?
Okay, so Thabo Bester wanted a laptop. Okay, he said that the magistrate, that is it's a constitutional right for him to get this laptop and access to the internet. Yeah, a convicted criminal fighting for the right to have internet access and a digital device. That's what got me. I feel like I'm living in a similar. Sometimes it's like, is this even happening? Like, how did we get here? How did we get to where someone, and you can see even how he behaves with Thabo Bester. He doesn't acknowledge his conviction. He doesn't want to acknowledge his conviction. There's something there that he doesn't want to say or tell us yet. Or maybe it's what's keeping him alive. I don't know. But he doesn't want to acknowledge that he committed that crime. After how many years?
I wouldn't also.
But why didn't he appeal while he was still inside? Why couldn't he follow due process all along, all these years, and wanna walk out of the prison and then come back and say...
Because everything was still fine. I mean, he was able to set up a company and do all these things inside jail.
But why not
and he was able to walk out.
Why not make it a due process of just saying, I need an appeal?
If he did that, then whatever reason is there, because in my opinion, it's not a mistake that is there. As Turitus would put it, it seems as if someone is taking a fall for someone else. That's how it looks, allegedly.
Well, he was representing himself under heavy police guard. You know, there was a police officer after the adjournment who was just behind him there. I don't know how many guys of you noticed these facial expressions as Thabo was going on and on, speaking about his case and arguing his case, and his face was just like, are you sure? Are you sure you are about what you're doing? It is almost as if he wanted to stop it. Well, Thabo Bester wanted to be granted urgency on the basis that he has a lack of resources to consider, and it is brought by a person who is not of normal circumstances. He considered himself as a person who is not of normal circumstances, and the main application is of a person that was deported out of the country of Tanzania with false documents issued by Home Affairs that confirmed that the deportation was unlawful. So right now, we are in a moment of trying to understand whether he is planning on filing for this deportation case or having his own case to argue or what. Because as far as we know, the only person that was challenging this deportation was Nandipha Makudumana. So it seems like he's also going to file his own application if he hasn't done so already. Or I don't know why, but he incorporated into this case, which for me was like, okay, when did I miss that bus? And his incarceration, he said, was also in question. He said that he is challenging the lawfulness of his imprisonment, his deportation, and his arrest in Tanzania. He said that he's unable to represent himself without having the resources to do so. That means his laptop. He wants a laptop. The resources, he means laptop. Okay, in this regard. Without the legal resource, he said that he's unable to defend his main application. Well, the judge immediately said no, and I felt the no. The no, I felt it. I was like, if I was in her shoes, finding out what I have found out through the media, that the man hosted a whole conference while he was in his prison cell, I would immediately not grant it as well. I would be like, okay, I need to really think about this, and to just grant it today like this, no way. You have to put in a harder fight. I even heard her convince me, Mr. Berster. Convince me why? Other than the fact that you want, what did he say he wanted? He wanted resources. Other than that, because you are not a student, I want you to place more reasons than you being a student as to why I should give you access to that laptop. Okay, and then after she said no, she will not be giving him access to this laptop, Thabo responded and said, but Your Honor, you have not even heard my application. You are making a decision up front. For what reason? Which constitutional reason do you give in you denying me access without even hearing my application, Your Honor? You know, this reminded me a little bit about what's happening in that other court. I'm like, hey, but Your Honor, now you are in a bit of a rush. You should have let him finish. Let him finish, because now you just gave him something that he can use, and he's saying, you know what, why are you not letting me finish? I even heard words being thrown around like, you're biased. You know, the magistrate told him that there are books that she used long before she used their laptop. She said the system of them working with laptops, in fact, has come much at a later stage. They were used to working with paper and hard copy format. I mean, you can see in the other court, a lot of hard paper work format is happening in there, and there are some lawyers who still prefer working that way with paper, and there are even other judges. I remember we discussed Shipiwa Maumela's hearing, where they were even asking him why he didn't load some of his notes and cases that he was working on his laptop, because he was working with paper the old-fashioned way. And it seems like the judge in this instance was telling Bester that, you know what, before we even had these laptops, we actually work more on paper. So I would rather have you read the books and read the case laws and stuff than having access to a laptop. So yeah, she said she would rather grant him access to those books of law so that he can prepare for his case, unlike giving him a laptop. So at this moment, I started seeing Bester now laughing and rolling his eyes, and the judge is like, but stop rolling your eyes. Don't roll your eyes. Oh my goodness. And he said that it's his constitutional right to a laptop and a modem, and the judge or the magistrate asked him what constitutional right was that he needed to have a laptop, and he said that he does not have a constitutional right to that, but a constitutional right to access to the court, and the resources can be limited under the limitations under those rights, and that there are access to laptops and modems currently in prison to students. But then the magistrate asked him, are you a student? And he said no. So Thabo said that he has visual evidence that needs to be seen in court, which are those press briefings. I think he's regarding those press briefings that were done by the former Minister of Police after they were caught in Tanzania and then brought to South Africa. Under the time, we didn't know what to call the process that they were brought under. Was it a deportation or extradition or what? But then the whole court process of Magudumana just revealed that it was actually a deportation without extradition. So it was very confusing. So the court told him that he will have access to all those law books that he needed, and Thabo said that the judge was biased. You're biased, Your Honor. Your Honor, you're biased. And the judge was taking the position of the defendant. That's what Thabo Bester was accusing the judge of, that you already sounding like a defendant. You're taking the position of the defendant.
I would like
Allow
you to
me
tell
to
Rata.
finish. You'd like him to tell the other judge in the other court that... I saw someone saying he's doing a better job.
I would like to see that happening on the other court, the opposite side.
But he's doing a better job than our defense advocates over there in that courtroom. The way he expresses himself, and he's so passionate, and the levels are different. Thabo's presenting himself there.
Yeah, and they take him as a lay person. These judges, they catch feelings. Once you say Kahoot, ha!
And some people are saying it's a bad idea. He should have gotten a lawyer to represent him. What do you say about that? Was it a bad idea for him to represent himself?
No, it's not a bad idea.
Why?
I think his main aim is to portray himself as someone who's preparing for the case, because he's representing himself. So he needs something to use, and that was it, exactly, representing yourself without a lawyer.
Somehow I also can't help but feel, when he brought up the fact that 4 councils have left him because of the media or how he's being portrayed in the media and stuff. I couldn't help but ask myself, I even heard him say that his previous legal counsel, their laptop was stolen and cell phone while they were consulting with him. I'm even thinking to myself, it sure must be difficult extracting information to represent this particular client. It's not a walk in the park, ne?
It's difficult. It's going to be difficult.
So that's him representing himself, I guess.
Look, this case needs a shark. Like the lawyer that was representing Oscar Pistorius. Someone like that.
Beryl.
Yes.
Is it Beryl?
Yes. Someone like that. Someone who can walk the walk, who can talk the walk and walk it at the same time.
Don't I just feel like the lawyers are going through it. I don't think it's easy to get, for example, court transcripts. Where are they?
In a situation like this, you cannot be represented by a person who is, I don't want to say this, but like us. Let me put it like that. You need someone who's like the other side, I've seen that being used. There was a case of this notorious person, a trial within a trial, where the same person that we probably are dealing with in this court currently that we're dealing with, he lost that case, right?
Yes.
But this side, because these ones, they even call them all different names and names, Ramsipi, Ramosapi, something like tongue twisting, however you want, to show that, in my opinion, you're undermining that person. you need people who are they gonna say Miss Cronje, Miss something, Honestly, the lawyer that side was not playing. That lawyer was not. People were angry. People were catching feelings. But when the verdict came out, they won it, right? A trial within a trial. They won it.
They won the trial within a trial, but they
lost
the main
case.
They lost.
But that's what they wanted.
Oh, you mean with Krecher?
Yeah, Krecher's case.
Krecher's case.
That's what Bontanzi needed. Someone who was as robust as that. There, no punches were held. Everything. It was a Mark Tyson fight between a judge and when the judge tried to ascend into an arena, 2-3 punches, he moves out and keep quiet. But our lawyers are shame. Angithi manje kunalento yokuthi ubaba kwesinye isikhathi yabo.
Not only that though, allegations of being followed around.
Yeah. And obvious, those ones you don't just take them out like that and survive.
Can you imagine with Besta representing Besta, right? And he's busy now taking the other offices that you're like, huh? I wouldn't want anything to do with that. I don't want to lie. I'm like, but why? No. No. Okay? No. Okay? So it must be very difficult representing him. I don't want to lie. So Besta said that it was difficult for him to file the application online. He said that the court is digital. I don't think that's quite what is happening in South Africa. Is the court digital?
What?
I don't know. He referenced a lot of American cases and other countries, and I'm like, Besta, that is not happening here.
And that is not helping your case, because that means that South Africa doesn't have those cases.
It doesn't have what you're asking for. He said that he is not asking for a free will access to the internet. It can be limited, secured in the environment that he's currently in, which I found to be okay, maybe, but then considering how well he is at convincing people, in my opinion, anything can happen, He also said that whatever he had handwritten, he had not sent it to be typed by the date of the submission. It was already too late for him. So he's saying that this whole process of him having to handwrite, I heard allegedly that he's not quite a good writer. Allegedly, I don't know who I heard it from in these many documentaries and coverages that were done about him. They say that he writes like straightforward with no full stop, no those are the allegations I heard, where he just writes like there's no full stop, no comma, no nothing. So the person who's gonna type, obviously, if he writes like that, it's gonna take longer to process the writing process. They're gonna take time before they finish typing because they have to put it into context. Do you understand? So maybe in that regard, yes, the typing will take a little bit longer to get done. So he prefers typing himself because obviously with the laptop, there's a spell check, you are being corrected every now and again, you are being demonstrated that there should be a comma here, as you're typing with these new softwares, they're so advanced. You're like, okay, it's reminding you to underline to show you that there should be a comma somewhere here. You understand? So he also quoted a case law from America of 1977, Boss versus Smith in the Supreme Court, and he said that it is his fundamental right to any imprisoned person to access the court. It's the responsibility of prison authorities to provide legal assistance or library that has legal resource. And he said it's not available at the facility he's at. Now, this is where I felt like maybe if he had a lawyer who could assist him in finding a relevant case like this in South Africa, It doesn't have to be digital, but that speaks to the accused having maybe legal right to access the court papers and stuff and everything that has to do with them. I'm sure a lawyer would have helped out in this department, because quoting an American law, South African courts don't use the same law necessarily in America. So it becomes tricky. They don't take you serious. A hard copy material also, he said, was fading out, and court is now available online. And I'm like, where? They made special provisions for you because of your seriousness of the situation of the case. There was a time they said they can't make you travel all the way to Bloemfontein, so they would rather have a virtual online. It does not happen every day, Besta. It's not the norm in the country. It only happened for your case. It was a special provision for your case, in my opinion. And of course, during 2020, while we were all forced to sit in our houses. But normal circumstances, no. People go to court.
We were forced.
So he said that there are cameras outside his door at the prison cell, and he wanted to watch those conferences that said that he was deported, and his case was trialed in the media. He has no newspaper, no radio, no watch. He said, I don't even know what time it is. You know, that is how I've lived for the past 16 months. Shame. Doesn't even have newspaper. Newspapers are no longer available anymore, not easily available. Even I struggle when I really want to touch a newspaper. They are going extinct. So 4 councils rejected his brief because of the media coverage of his case. He even referred to another case from Australia where prisoners had access to tablets. And I'm like, yo, Besta, we are still far from this happening in the country. Prisoners are not going to be getting tablets anytime soon. If you're going to get a tablet, you have to get it yourself. And of course, that would be illegal. And right now, considering what is happening in the GNU, it's not a bright idea. So you must just go through this process.
I think that was a publicity stunt.
It was a publicity stunt. Those prison raids. Like what's happening with that restaurant in Pebble?
Yeah, it's just a publicity stunt. Not these people don't know these things are happening. I mean, how long have we known this?
We are being played.
How long have this thing been happening?
Because I'm like, how did this situation move from that girl complaining about the labor regulations not being adhered to it becoming about illegal immigrants? How did that switch up happen right there? Like, when are we addressing the actual problem? The actual problem is the labor laws being broken, right? Where are the owners of the restaurant?
But they are arrested.
Are they? Really? I'm not sure. I want to see footage of them being arrested. That's how serious I am about the situation.
Now, the question should be, is it still operational?
It is. I saw an EFF person making a speech there and saying that the plan is not to shut the place down. And I'm like, okay, I'm confused.
Very convenient.
I am very confused what is happening in this country. Are we moving or are we
What
going?
is the plan?
Are we coming or what is going on?
What is the plan?
But it should have been a red flag when it switched up to the owners of the restaurant violating labor laws of the country, and then it moves from that to illegal immigrants. We all know that those people could not speak if they were being overworked and underpaid. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are in the country legally. So shaming them and having cameras, arresting them and all of that, it's distracting from the actual problem, which is this restaurant is not going by the labor laws.
You see, the problem of of illegal immigrants in South Africa, I don't think it is addressed at the root cause.
Yes.
It is addressed at, high level, the leaves of the tree.
Yes.
Not the roots of the tree. Why I'm saying this is that we have organizations that are dedicated in defending, for example, people who are here illegally, and they call themselves
human rights
activists or commissions or whatnot. They're doing that on purpose. And when we say it, we sound wrong. There's no way you can say it and not sound wrong. Cheap labor. And we always have pointed it out. And look at those restaurants that are abusing those people that are coming from other countries. It's restaurants that are benefiting from it. Right?
Yes.
Look at one South African goes in there, he comes out and makes noise. She comes out and makes noise. Everyone is on it. Hence, they don't want to hire those people. Some restaurants don't even pay people. People are paid on tips. And mostly
they take the tips even to find out that some of the tips are taken if you pay them with a card. Sure.
None of South Africans can actually take that.
No.
That's where the problem starts. Then you're like, what? I need cheaper labor. I need someone who's going to be quiet. Someone who's not going to make noise. So you must not have papers. If you don't have papers, how can you make noise? Because if you do that, they say, now, by the way, we made a mistake. They release a statement very quickly. We made a mistake. This person, by the way, doesn't have papers. So you're exposed.
And look at how the very same people that are victims in this situation, the attention was now turned to them. I found that very, I'm bored. I'm so bored. You're not going to pretend like you don't know what is happening in this restaurant all along.
Now, our African brothers that are always fighting against us, look at what they are doing to them. They are making them an scapegoat for that restaurant, in my opinion. That's my opinion, and alleged, obviously. Because no one is... all of a sudden, now there's people who are deporting people. And the problem is that there was exploitation there. That's the main problem.
Labor laws of the country were broken.
That? Is that company going to be charged?
Fined, something.
No.
Punished.
We're going to deport these people. It's chai. That's the problem. So, when we fight...
and we're telling you, get your papers right.
We are wrong. No,
we are avoiding this situation right here.
One Africa, one all. Here's one Africa. You see what one Africa does? You get exploited. You can't say anything. Keep quiet. Drastic things can happen to you. Serious drastic, because you're not accounted for.
I was like, no. There's something boiling in the waters.
So there's something wrong with us also as people of color. There's something wrong with us that we don't want to fix. We are okay as long as you're a stepping stone that benefits from the crumbs at the time. It's fine. You would keep quiet. While on the other side, they even make noise even if it doesn't affect them direct. They combine and do one complaint.
Look at what they're doing at Hartebees, for example. There's a person of color who's opened a business there. They've come together, colluded together to destroy that man's business.
And then it's okay. No one of us can fight for that man.
They burned it.
No one of us can fight for that man. I'm just making an example. That's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. And you'll always have problems after problems, problems after problems. Because why? Every time when it suits you, it's okay. When it reached that point of it does not suit you anymore, no one is ready to fight with you anymore. We are already divided.
We are divided, too divided.
For example, the situation of Tyler. Is it Tyler, the lady who went overseas?
Oh, yes.
And said she's not black.
She said she's not black.
She's colored.
And the black people of America are not having it.
And now, everyone is fighting against it. South Africans now are quiet. The ones that are supposed to fight for it. Most of them. It's few that are just, but it's not as it was before. Because you know why? When it suits you, you want to look at yourself in a different mirror and say, I'm actually totally different. So,
and it also has to do with how, when the Chidima situation was happening, she decided to support Chidima.
Go is.
So people are like, Ako, Nama Nigeria. So they're saying, our Nigerian brothers and sisters, you can go ahead and fight for Tyler. I know, shit is not funny, but when you look at the whole surface of how we are divided, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
If you have papers, when it's time for you to boycott such abuse, you are able to do that. But without papers,
it becomes difficult.
You take whatever that you're given.
Yeah, you become a stepping stone.
That's where the problem is. But it's okay. It's a story for another day.
Yeah, back to Besta. Okay, he spoke also about the prison cloud. Apparently, there's a prison cloud where the court staff stays, according to him. I don't think that's available in South Africa. Do you guys think that is available? Unless if he's talking about the ones that the lawyers have accesses to. But then you have to pass your bar and stuff to have access to some of those things.
That's nonsense.
I don't know, prison, a cloud.
We are mimicking America when it suits us.
Yeah, when it suits us. But when it comes to other information, I heard before from a practicing lawyer that there are certain websites you have to have passed the bar to get access to them, especially when it comes to vetting a type of websites where you are looking for people and stuff. So I was like, okay. So while Besta was given the option of requesting a lengthier postponement so he can prepare his reply, he confidently told the court that he'd have his response ready within a few hours. Okay, the judge warned him to stick to what he said in his founding and replying affidavit, and she said that I'm not allowing submissions outside of that. You've made a lot of submissions outside this, and I've allowed it, but it's not admissible, and it has to be under oath. The matter was postponed to later on in the afternoon to allow Besta time to prepare his response. And then when he came back, it felt like he had rewritten the whole thing and he had come with a different shirt. In the morning, he was wearing like a golf t-shirt. And then 2 hours when he came back, he was now wearing a formal black shirt. And I'm like, when did you change this shirt? What is going on? And then his affidavit sounded very long. It took him maybe like 30 minutes to read through it and to make his arguments. So yeah, and also Advocate Musia, the defense also made his arguments, and he said that this application is not urgent, and the judge ended up siding with the advocate that, you know what, this is not on an urgent basis. Kwaphela kanjalo application ya Thabo Besta. Yaphela kanjalo. That was it. So I don't know whether he's gonna appeal it or what. Angas.
Why not? If there is a chance. But guys, let's like the video, please. Let's like the video. I know it's one hell of a video, but let's like it. Please.
Okay, so now we need to move on to Longwe Twala, I feel, because we didn't talk about him and this whole court appearance of his, okay? I didn't address it.
Yeah.
we know that Chiko Twala had a video of him talking, and he was even calling the lawyer psychopaths and whatever. So now, this case of Longwe is getting media coverage, but not in a way that I had hoped. You know, I had hoped that the cameras would be inside the court to record, like they're doing with Thabo Beste, like they're doing with every major case. But then this case is treated like a major case, but we don't know what's going on because the cameras are not inside the court. What we are relying on is just reports coming from the journalists who were inside the court. So Longwe Twala, a son of Chiko Twala, was back at the Randburg Magistrates Court yesterday. And after his arrest 2 weeks ago, his father opened a theft case against him. So Longa was arrested alongside his younger brother, Sello Twala, who's 34 years of age, and whose matter was withdrawn after the state prosecutor told the court that there was not enough evidence against him. So they were both arrested for the housebreaking and theft equipment worth, they said, 300,000 rands at the time that the reports were coming out, after they allegedly broke into their father's studio. And the case against Longwe Twala has been postponed to next week, Wednesday, for his legal aid representative to familiarize themselves with the case before applying for bail. And this is because his defense lawyer wasn't present during his court appearance in Randburg Magistrate Court. Okay, so the musician's matter was postponed till Monday. Monday is when the formal bail application actually took place. And but during his appearance, his dad, Chiko Twala, and other family members were not present to hear about his case update. Apparently, he had looked much better than his first appearance. And the picture that has been circulating around, I don't know whether you guys have seen it. I had put it there, Mr. Anonymous. I don't know whether you can find. There's a picture of Longwe Twala. And apparently, on his first court appearance, his previous court appearance on the 4th of September postponed his case as the investigating officer needed some time to verify his new address in Deep Kloof, Soweto. So he had been staying with his father, allegedly, where he had broke out. So that is the picture I'm talking about. That picture, there is a picture of him inside the court. And of course, alongside it is an old picture of him. But yeah, that's a topic later on. So Magistrate Abdul Khan postponed the case to next week, Wednesday, the 25th of September, for Longwe's lawyer to familiarize himself with the case before applying for bail. So apparently he got a legal aid lawyer. So Chiko was not playing when he said that he's not going to be getting involved much. He can see what he can do. Like, he's leaving him literally to take responsibility for the crime that he has committed. So Mr. Twala, the matter is going to be postponed to the 25th of September, is what the magistrate said to him, for the bail application of your lawyer. He needs to prepare for it, and you will remain in custody until the 25th, and that's when we'll be able to hear the matter. But Chiko told Zimoja that maybe jail will help clean him up from the illegal substances. He said Longwe is safer behind bars than roaming the streets. Maybe all the delays are helping him. I don't know. End quote. Those are the words of Chiko Twala, you know. And another question that the people are now having and asking themselves is, why does Longwe look so different? Mr. Anonymous, put that picture back up. The people are asking on the streets. It's not I, it's the people. As I was busy doing my research, that this Longwe does not look like the Longwe of this picture that we have and have been circulating. And what is happening? Is it the jail? Is it the use of illegal substances over time? And he has a bald. I was unaware that his head looked like that, because I don't know, like, is this the same person? I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? I don't know. To me, it looks like it's the same person, and then again, it doesn't look like, or maybe it's the hat. If we put a hat on him, it's the same person, ne? Maybe it's the hat that has been distracting us. You guys let me know. Because I'm very, very conflicted. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, I hear all that.
Mm.
Why is this case again a public issue? This is
Because
a case
it's Longwe
of
Twala.
stolen stuff from the father.
Because
right?
it's Longwe Twala who was implicated in the Senzo Meyiwa trial.
And why is there
As
no
a
evidence
witness.
for the other brother?
The other brother, there's no evidence. They let him go.
Why?
I don't know.
Why was he arrested in the first place?
Because Chiko had said he's the one who was assisting him to steal. They stole together.
Okay.
Yes.
And then they saw through the cameras.
Yeah.
Why then there's no evidence?
Of the brothers' participation.
Yeah. We don't intend to analyze this.
But it's in our faces, right?
It's in our faces.
It's hard to ignore.
It's given to us by the media, courtesy of media.
It's hard to
as usual. Which, in my opinion, it should be none of our business.
It's a family
should be
matter.
in the closed doors.
It's a family matter. Because
Family
now
matter.
we're looking at this picture, we're like, Akira, there's a brother. Doesn't the brother look similar to Longa? What if this is the brother?
I just don't know about that. And that's where the problem starts. I just don't care about that. I don't know about that. I don't care. I don't think it should be our matter
Okay.
to even worry about.
Then why is it in our faces like
That's
this?
a question you should
Why
be
is
asking.
it getting coverage but not proper
Why
coverage?
is the whole SAPC one's going to follow someone who's said to be allegedly a Chang who stole some equipment somewhere? Not from government, not from anyone. Why? Why should we know about that?
I don't know. Maybe
Why is
we'll
that?
find out.
Why is that any of our business?
Maybe we'll find out at a later stage. What do you guys think? Maybe we'll find out later.
We have a lot of cases that are serious. Like there's a case about people who were put in a pig's pit, and they were devoured by the pigs and all that. I think that's what should be our
Main
case
concern.
right now. Yes, because that talks to public issues that we have, society issues that we have. Why should someone stealing, allegedly stealing whatever that they stole, be injured? And by the way, isn't it a crime to buy stolen goods?
It is.
Where is the person that Longwe sold this thing to or gave it this thing to?
And that was quick. How they
No.
were sold, it was very fast.
We don't want to talk about these things, man.
But manje bayasikhulumisa. Stop covering Longwe's case. We want him to appear in that other one. We will care then. Right now, you are distracting us, man. It's go busy, man. I can't keep up.
And the whole legal aid lawyer who's supposed to be there in court waiting for such cases.
He didn't. He wasn't
He's not there. Okay. Oh, that got me thinking. I wouldn't be surprised when we have to call him, if he was to be called, and the case is running on the other side. His case, in particular. I wouldn't be surprised. But let's wait. Let's wait and see.
Now the question becomes, can he be called to come and testify if he's incarcerated in the other? Is it possible?
Yes.
Can he
Yes.
be called to be a witness?
Yes.
Hi. Sesiyobona khona, guys. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, to me, this looks like a sketch. That's my opinion. It's a very well-crafted sketch, in my opinion.
But what is the purpose of this sketch?
We'll know. We don't know law enough. But if you are advised by lawyers, you are able to do the right thing. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anyone is, but This to me looks like a sketch. And we have to follow carefully. And there's a reason why cameras are not going to get inside, because this is not the public issue that we should be worried about. People are dying
Then why
left
is
and
it being
right.
covered?
Now, what we are seeing is the portrayal of the responsible parent who took the kid to jail for doing the wrong thing. You know? But with that in mind, this father is still adamant and talking on behalf of his son that my son would never have done that. You know, that's very nice, very rich. So we're going to talk about it just because it's there. Give us something that 3 minutes nyana from SABC doesn't kill you, right?
Mm-mm.
Only 3 minutes. That's all you go there and shoot 3 minutes outside the court, the walls. If you are lucky, you get to come across the father, you do an interview.
And he's always ready.
And the father starts shooting at the lawyers on the other court.
But he's always ready.
Yeah?
He's ready for the cameras.
Then the father starts shooting on the lawyers on the court. Hey,
They are psychopaths. I'm like, what is going on? Like,
we are here for a case that this son of yours stole something from you.
what is going on? I can't keep up. I can't. This is too much.
Around 33, how old is Long? 33, 30 something?
35.
35? Yeah, I
35.
had something like that. 36, 35.
Somewhere there. But still, I
Yeah,
can't keep up.
it's just funny, man. Let's try something else. You know, like, it has lived this thing. Let it unfold, you know? It's better like that. I
It's
think.
better like that, ne?
Yeah, let it unfold.
They
you know?
came, Bongache, they testified, Botumelo, they came, Bozanti, they came, everyone came. They survived. They're still standing.
Survive, man. I mean,
Longwe can survive.
you have the best defense inside that court.
How?
So,
I don't understand why you could be kanje. No, if he is called to go, he must go and give his side of the story, and we move on in life. Whether he's telling the truth or what is not for us to come to a conclusion.
Oh, you know, I like thinking while I'm standing.
Mm.
Now I get it. I've been ranting. I think they're gonna call Longwe. The state is gonna call Longwe.
When? But they've not indicated.
Wait.
Okay.
But maybe Longwe outside wouldn't have stopped what he needed to stop. So being in prison is the right place to do everything. I mean, in prison, people walk in, walk out. OBs are not signed and everything. So the training of how he should prepare for his court, you know, like this one that he stole from, you know, I have inverted commas. Yeah, but it will give more time and access and all that. I'm just thinking that it would make sense to station him in one place. I mean, similar thing to Danzi's way of doing things. Keep them there while you are waiting to charge them on Senzo's case. They must be going through other cases, you know, type of situation. And the brother was rightly withdrew because he was just there to make it seem allegedly. I'm just speaking. I might be sleepy. It's alleged. Yeah, so keep him in the right place, get him sober, so that he can read the books in court like Baxter and understand, you know, that everything must be clear.
Everything is alleged.
Yeah, I'm saying, I mean, read the books and, you know, be a normal person. But outside, it's difficult to have that situation because it's
If that were
it's
the
uncontrolled
case,
situation. Allegedly.
if that were the case, then it's brilliant. I give it to them. If it's brilliant.
Oh, do you have a different theory?
No, I don't have a different theory. And what makes me not have a different theory is because I remember about 2 years ago while we were covering this long
And exactly, that's the problem. You see, the fact that Mgomezulu wants him, he keeps on calling his name, he's not going to get him because the state's going to get the first preference. So the students have time, you know?
If they can keep who is currently going to be coming in
I don't
tomorrow.
know. It's
And then there's
still gonna be
recess.
subsequently and all that, and
then there's
they're gonna,
recess.
you know.
But the
and
recess might
subsequently
come
can
after.
take a whole month.
Yeah, he can take the whole
Hey.
month. He has the capabilities
Yeah.
of doing that.
So yeah, don't worry. This case, then eventually this case will not stick. Eventually, already the brother has already casted doubt to this case
because he's been
He's
let
been
go.
let go. There's no enough evidence. Then, when this testimony is done, that is required for long.
That's brilliant.
Then
That
he
is brilliant. You
goes
know
to
what
his
makes
squash.
me agree with you? And for those who are saying I like agreeing with Mr. Anonymous, I have to go back 2 years back when there was mentioning of Longwe in that courtroom. And there were allegations that he hasn't been seen home or he's in the streets. I think people even saw some pictures of him. Someone took pictures of him or something like that. And they were saying that every time they would call his name, it seemed like the streets were calling his name for some weird reason. And there was a time that they had reported that he even had a fight with his father. It was alleged. It's all alleged, of course. So it goes to show that Longwe may be mentally struggling to prepare himself to appear in that court.
So what better rehabilitation that you can get than being in the custody in one area where you're not gonna get anything
And not get a chance
and
to
then get a chance
run
and
away.
become sober automatically by power, by fire, by
Allegedly.
force, allegedly.
Everything is alleged.
I hate this thing because it's like very
Okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Okay,
Let's
we'll
wrap it
see
up.
each
All
other.
is alleged.
We have to listen to that courtroom
Please
today.
like the video, share the video, and all this alleged and speculation. Just
It's
simply we're
speculative.
enjoying this part, just talking
We're
like
just talking and rambling.
colleagues of public opinion.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye,
Goodbye.
guys.